Don't you cry for me, no, no. Don't shed a tear for me, no, no. 'Cause this movie's greater, greater to them that believe. Don't you cry for me, no, no. Don't shed a tear for me, no, no. 'Cause this movie's greater, greater to them that believe. Oh Lord, I love you. I can't wait to see you. All of these years, I can't believe I'm finally gonna meet you. I get to see your face, feel your warm embrace. To this world I'm dead, but today I eat my heavenly cake. Lover of my soul, wrap me in your arms, take control. Me want to walk on the streets of gold. Tell me the stories never been told. You alone are my Lord and King. Praises to you all that I sing. I just can't wait to be with you. Don't you cry for me, no, no. Don't shed a tear for me, no, no. 'Cause this movie's greater, greater to them that believe. Don't you cry for me, no, no. Don't shed a tear for me, no. 'Cause this movie's greater, greater to them that believe.
I wish that I can see him to relieve my mind. Heaven gates and no one see them in due time. He has shown me visions you won't believe. The kingdom of heaven now I receive. Mysteries only you can reveal it. Oh yes, I can feel it. No, no eyes have seen it. Ears have beheld it. No, no, no one's told it. Of the glorious streets of gold, waiting for a race to behold.
Don't you cry for me, no, no. Don't shed a tear for me, no, no. 'Cause this movie's greater, greater to them that believe. Don't you cry.
Tonight, a fiery voice falls silent. Rodney Moner dies at 68. Also, Bay Street blaze engulfs multiple buildings. And later, the F&M heats up the campaign trail. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janaea Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, former Senator Rodney Moner, a fiery crusader for the common man known for his unfiltered words and unyielding conviction, has died. The self-proclaimed leader of the Womandem, who marched, fought, and defied every political label, passed away in hospital overnight following a brief illness. Tonight, we look back on the life of a man who made no apologies and left no issue untouched. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details in tonight's top story.
It was just before midnight when his longtime friend and aide, Dion Delancey, watched the final breath leave the body of Rodney Moner, a man whose voice, even in his final moments, never went silent.
He started breathing a little funny. His eyes started whitening out. When they came, they tried to, I guess, revive him on the bed. That's it.
For Delancey, the impact on his life will last a lifetime.
Moner was relatable to the average man. Mr. Moner was always accessible. Mr. Moner would see an issue and he'll solve it. Treated everybody fair, no matter who you are. Rich, poor, black, white.
The same can be said for Marcus Louis, who, despite the age gap between the two, considered Munker a best friend.
I can't repay you back, but I'm going to name my firstborn after you. So my son's name is Maximus Munker Louis. And he said to me, Marcus, do you know what you've done for me? He said, no friend has ever done this for me. And I said, Munker, do you know what you have done for me?
Relationship spanning years with countless lessons.
He gave me a lot of quotes that I would never forget. But I've learned a lot over the years, a lot.
On a national scale, Munker made a huge impact, ascending to the office of the Senate, appointed by Loretta Butler Turner during her time when she served as leader of the opposition. While he bragged about having 2 meets in the Senate, his longtime colleague Wayne Munro, who often appeared on his show, spoke about his impact.
COVID, I had the privilege of sitting with him Monday to Friday for 2 hours every day. As he would say, entertained and informed the Bahamian public. It's a period in my life that I would cherish because we were all locked up and we were able to commune at a time when persons generally were not able to get together.
Born and raised in Black Village, Munker grew up with the streets as his teacher and injustice as his calling.
African name for Black Village is Counter Buta.
Counter boot.
Yes. And so that is what the African name is for the neighborhood that I live in.
By his 20s, he was already a political force, not elected, but undeniably felt.
Come to them to tell them we needed unity. And when they couldn't understand, we then organized a party in 78 called the Workers' Party that we carried on, but still had little affiliation with the FNM, and when the FNM had a split with the late Norman Solomon. So you're dealing with a man that many people would not know what role I played.
Through the years, Rodney Munker became many things: a justice of the peace, a senator, a crime consultant, and above all, a voice. One that shook airwaves across the country on his radio program, Freedom March, a show as unpredictable and unapologetic as the man himself.
And I figure you all out, because anytime you see men doing that kind of foolishness, they are anti-woman and they're a bunch of sissy men. That's what they are. A bunch of sissy men.
In 2016, he made a move to become chairman of the Free National Movement, but was denied. Some said he was too radical, others too honest.
FNM's all over the country. Throw away your shirts. Throw away them red shirts. It's a gold rush. A gold rush. Throw away your red shirts. Throw them away.
But Rodney Munker never needed a seat to have a platform. He hosted election coverage right here inside ILTV studios, analyzing, critiquing, and sometimes outright scorching political parties with the force of his words.
Dave Davis will be sworn in as the new Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
PLP all the way.
And for those that remain, he will not soon be forgotten.
And sometimes I felt like my office was his sanctuary. It became his office.
You know, every time he walked in the newsroom, before he did, he'd always do 3 really hard knocks, like he's a judge coming in.
He came family. He came to my house, eat dinner with my father, even with me sometimes, and we would just laugh.
Amen. He taught me as a journalist to not allow my feelings to get in the way of me telling the story.
To many, he was a character. To others, a champion. But to everyone, he was impossible to ignore.
I'm going to cut the movie.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Thunder and lightning.
I understand my people, the Negro people. I understand them, so I know how to speak to my people.
March like you've never marched again.
As leader of the people, them,
and leader of the woman them, I lead the revolution. Revolution is life.
To the people around the world, to my Negro people, I wish you peace, love, and progress.
Well, numerous celebrations of life events are set to take place to remember the life of Rodney Moner, beginning with a memorial service scheduled for May 9th, followed by a funeral on May 10th, both events expected to take place at St. Francis Church on Boyd Road. Well, among those paying tribute to the late Rodney Moner, Prime Minister Philip Davis, who today described the former senator as a fearless advocate for the Bahamian people, one who fought not for popularity but for progress. He called Moner a man who commanded the national spotlight with his bold voice, sharp humor, and commitment to speaking out for the common man. The Prime Minister extending condolences to his wife Gina, their children, grandchildren, and loved ones, saying Rodney Moner was a fighter, a friend, and undoubtedly one of a kind. Well, Chairman of the ILTV studios, Sebastian, also reflecting on the life and legacy of Rodney Moner, a man who commanded the airways and our television channel for nearly a decade. Bastian describing Moner as a man who left an indelible mark on the hearts of many.
You know, I met Rodney almost 10 years ago. Someone came in my office and he said, "Boss, my guy Rodney Moner, talking bad, but you on the radio."
From there, His Excellency Sebastian said he rushed to defuse the situation at a station where Rodney Moner was working at the time, and the rest, he said, is history.
And that led to me offering him a role at ILTV Studios because we were just about to launch the TV station, and I said, you would be really good on TV. He said he'd never done TV before, but it was always his dream to have his own radio station. And so I said, how about if I give you TV and radio?
And Moner made the leap, buying into a vision that Bastian said grew larger than life.
I never met someone, that can take such an intellect and convert it into a digestible form for any demographic of citizen. And when you have a 13-year-old daughter talking about Rodney Moner, my 21-year-old daughter, and then also my 65-year-old mother, all speaking about Rodney, that's very rare in a personality that can cross demographic.
And Bastian made sure to include Moner in every facet, every commercial, and every big bang.
He was always up to the challenge, no matter what. I even had him on Big Bang Stage playing a game before. He did our election coverages twice. He's going to be missed, especially this election season.
So one final thing, if you had an opportunity to say one final thing to Rodney, what would that be?
This is powerful.
Well, ILTV shareholder Adrian Fox also giving tribute to Rodney Moner, thanking him for his dedication to the product.
I would just like to say thank you to Rodney Moner for all the love that he has given to the ILTV group, his family. I want you to know that he was a great man. He was extraordinary. He had no filter. He speak his mind. And I always say, Rodney Moner, you taught the Bahamian people how to be upfront, how to speak the truth, no lies. He was a great man. And he was for all the women them. So, Rodney Moner, where you is, I want you to know that we love you at ILTV.
ILTV Studios CEO Gershon Major also shared his reflections on the life of Rodney Moner, appearing on 103.5 The Beat. Major says while the Verizon Media Group hoped for a full recovery, God, he believes, was simply ready for his angel.
While it is a very sober time, but while we are very remorseful, while we're saddened, and it is painful because for us, we were hoping for full recovery after his surgery, and to have heard the news shortly after midnight, it has been, for the lack of a better word, a very long morning. However, I think it's important for us as we remember Rodney Moner, we also celebrate his life. We celebrate the joy he brought to so many for so long. We celebrate the fact that he was appreciative of the platform he had to share both his political activism his lobbying. He was a freedom fighter for the poor. He always colloquially said he is leader of the women them. He had a very passionate concern regarding the plight of women in the Bahamas and beyond. And it's important that we remember him for the joy and the smiles and the laughter and the moments he and spiritual advisors have given us over so many years. I think it would be remiss of us, it would have been remiss of me as head of the organization not to take time out to express our sincerest condolences to his wife, his children, his grands, his nieces and nephews, his family, and those of his extended family, not just his biological family.
Well, again, a funeral and memorial service planned for Friday and Saturday at St. Joseph's Church on Boyd Road. On to some other news tonight. An intense fire erupting on Bay Street Thursday, engulfing multiple buildings and displacing families. Our Laurencia Smith has been following the story from the moment the flames first broke out. She filed the details in this report tonight.
A late-night fire tore through sections of Bay Street, reducing a building to its shell and impacting several businesses along both Bay Street and Elizabeth Avenue. Emergency crew working well into Friday morning, but the blaze caused significant damage before it was brought under control. Also getting caught in the crossfire, Victoria Court, that was a home to 29 families. A longtime tenant who wished to remain off camera says that her home was the first to catch fire, and she recalled how she repeatedly called for assistance.
I called the police, and I was saying, you need more support, you need more fire engines. And the response was, sorry, ma'am, we know what is going through. We are doing the best that we can.
Hours after the blaze broke out, fire services were still on scene, using bucket trucks to douse lingering hotspots. Small pockets of fire continued to burn, with the flames tearing through from the top floor to the second, leaving the building severely damaged. While another displaced resident, who also wished to remain off camera, called Victoria Court home for just 6 months, also expressed frustration, saying that the fire could have been prevented.
This building didn't have to burn, and the building on the corner of Elizabeth Avenue didn't have to burn because the fire jumped all the way across an empty lot to that building.
Eyewitness News was the first on the scene just after 9 p.m. Thursday night as massive orange flames lit up the night sky. Fire crews worked frantically to contain the blaze, which spread rapidly with every shift of the wind. At one point during the night, the airport was temporarily shut down to aid emergency response effort. Authorities describing the operation as a coordinated multi-agency response. Commissioner of Police Shanton Holt on the ground with fire crews late into the night, refuting claims that there were issues with resources.
No, not to my knowledge. Water was not a challenge. We had water in our trucks, all 6 trucks that responded to this. Along with the Defense Force, and we were pumping from the sea. So we did not have a challenge with water. We still don't have a challenge with water.
Now, traffic diversion has been one of the major impacts from this blaze. However, according to Director General within the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, it has no impact on tourists, as many still have an opportunity to explore what all of Nassau has to offer.
40,000 cruise ship passengers on a busy day that would traverse Nassau, downtown, and the surrounding areas. Those visitors can still come and enjoy the destination.
Now, fire services are continuing to work around the clock to manage the aftermath of this blaze, and they noted that investigations are underway. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Fire rocking the capital, damaging 4 buildings, including Victoria Court, displacing residents. They spoke out today, claiming the response was too slow, with fires happening more often and government now turning to international partners for help. The question is enough being done to protect the public? To gauge the public's opinion, we asked for your thoughts in our daily digital poll. You were asked, is the government acting quickly enough to deal with the rising number of fires? 95% of participants voting yes, they're doing what they can, while 5% voted no, the response has been too slow. You were also asked, do you think the government should be doing more beyond just seeking international help to address the fire crisis? 6% of participants voted yes, local systems need urgent investment, While 94% of you voted no, the response has been too slow. Lastly, could climate change be a factor? In the recent spike in fires, 95 of those who participated voted definitely. The environment is shifting. While 5% voted no, it's mostly human error or neglect. Well, following last night's fire that gutted several aging structures in downtown Nassau, attention now turns to what comes next for the area. Officials from the Downtown Revitalization Unit say the blaze, while unfortunate, has reinforced the urgency of redevelopment and could actually speed up long-awaited plans to transform the city center. Anthony Boswick confirmed that most of the affected buildings had already been marked for demolition.
Some of the owners that we have addressed, they're on their board. They're considering either revamping the building or either taking it down. But now it's going to be an accelerated process because, as we can see, these catastrophic events that happen, we could avoid these things if we take proactive measures that we want to do and actually clean up the entire eastern area and turn this into what could be a very artistic tourist experience.
As for the timeline, Boswick stated that construction will begin soon, with visible changes expected within the coming months.
We are in private discussions with many of the owners in addressing bringing down a lot of the derelict buildings. As you can see, we are in a very dry season, and it only takes a spark to get a fire going, as we experienced last night. So therefore, we now have to come back to the table like tomorrow and say we have to now take these things down, or you have to do your repairs and maintenance.
Well, on to news from the Crime Beat tonight. Police officers in Abaco successfully intervening in a suspected suicide attempt involving a 48-year-old man. According to initial reports, around 5 p.m., officers from the Marsh Harbor Police Station were dispatched to a dock in Dundastown, where they found the man with his hands and feet bound, apparently preparing to harm himself. Authorities say officers were able to intervene in time to prevent the individual from causing self-injury. He was subsequently transported to a local clinic for medical treatment and evaluation. Investigations are ongoing tonight. In news from the political arena, the Free National Movement hitting the ground early to push the message that they are the party that deserves to govern the country for the next 5 years. At a Central Zone event hosted last evening, the F&M leader Michael Pintard led the charge, and 2 scores of party supporters that showed up at the C.R. Walker Senior High School.
What is wrong is the leadership of Philip Davis and Chester Cooper and those that bomb the desk when they don't deserve to be beating their chests. And so we have an obligation, F&Ms, to do what? In Freetown, we believe that if our young people are positively engaged, they would not be available for the gunman. To hire a young person telling them they won't go to big man jail. And that's why our 14-year-olds, our 15-year-olds are running up on people and emptying the clip in them because somebody else has competed better than we have in reaching their minds and their hearts. We will clean this system up. We're not afraid of any trial that go on because ain't nobody calling our name.
Deputy Leader of the party, Shannon Cartwright, raising concern regarding crime in the country. East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson promised digital advancement under a Free National Movement government. And Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis, she also talked about future prospects for the party.
Ever since this government has come to power, crime has skyrocketed. They have been hard on the Bahamian people, but soft on crime. They've been hard on the nurses of this country, but soft on crime.
An F&M government will digitize government services. So doing business in the Bahamas is easier and faster. An F&M government will reform the tax system. So hard work is rewarded.
For the cost of living, the F&M will offer a better way. As Kwesi said, reducing VAT on essential items, the F&M will offer a better way. And when it comes to affordable food and proper infrastructure, the FNM will offer a better way.
Well, in a major step toward expanding home ownership opportunities across the Family Islands, a groundbreaking continuation of the Davis administration's rent-to-own housing initiative in Rock Sound and Eleuthera, officials, residents, and community leaders gathering for a ceremony that marks a transformative moment for Bahamian families dreaming of owning their first home. Delano Roker on the ground in Eleuthera, he has the latest with this report.
A new vision for homeowners as the Ministry of Housing providing the first phase of the Ocean Hole Estates development, aiming to give Bahamians the chance to rent now and own later. The 350-acre, 150-home development aims to provide affordability and accessibility as a part of the administration's continuing blueprint for change. Prime Minister Philip Davis says the initiative is a part of a larger strategy to give Bahamians a piece of paradise.
Whether it's because of rising land prices, whether it's because of rigid lending rules, or not enough affordable options, the dream of owning a home has been just that, a dream. We are here to change that, and we are here changing it with action.
Minister of Works and Member of Parliament for Eleuthera, Clay Sweeting, highlighting the broader progress already underway on the island.
From the implementation of BTVI, to foster academic, technical, and vocational learning, to the construction of a long-awaited medical facility, to the refurbishment of the sporting facility at Preston Aubrey High School, where Olympians can train and have been trained, to the reconstruction of docks throughout the island that feeds our nation, to the provision of greenhouses to our high school to advance food security, and to begin to educate our future generations in innovative farming technologies.
For homeowner Tanya Cambridge, the lifelong dream for her is now in the palm of her hand.
This is a dream of mine and my husband Jason, and we're just ecstatic and appreciative and just so happy to be homeowners here in Rock Sound. My husband is from Eleuthera, and this was basically his dream, but you know, as his wife, I followed behind him, and we're just appreciative that we were given this opportunity. Very happy.
The future of homeownership is here at Ocean Hole Estates. With the presentation of the first 4 keys in the new development, Minister of Housing Keith Bell is assuring residents that affordable homes will be coming to Bahamians across the Bahamas. I'm Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the IO News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight. But when we come back, an update on waste collection here in the capital and some challenges that are being faced. We've got that story coming up. And later, the Grand Bahama, they're getting ready for a weekend of events following a 2-day expo. We've got that story right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Hey, it's Spa Week, we got what you need. Sit back, relax, and come in for a treat. We just wanna make you smile. We will go the extra mile at Baja Retreat Spa.
Come visit us at Baja Retreat Spa on East Bay Street. Contact us at 323-6711 or visit us online at www.baharetreat.com.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? The Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants invites business owners to join us on May 15th at Margaritaville Beach Resort for an exclusive seminar on building a successful business in the small and medium-sized enterprises space. Gain practical strategies, learn from industry professionals, and connect with fellow entrepreneurs. Whether you're launching or scaling, this event is designed to equip you with tools for sustainable growth. Seats are limited, so reserve yours today and invest in the future of your business.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. It's your last chance to get behind the wheel and drive the evolution. Secure the Toyota BZ4X, Mercedes-Benz EQB 260, Carry Cargo Van, or Carry Elephant X7 truck with prices starting as low as $309.88 per month. Hurry before they're gone. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Shell, $5.42. Esso coming in at $5.43. Rubis, $5.55. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, we are now into day 2 of the Freeport Business Expo. Our Theo Seeley still on the ground. And from what I've heard, he's had quite a day, not only experiencing the grand exhibition space, but also to capture the end result of a pitch competition where Grand Bahamian business owners got a chance to compete for grant funding. He joins me live from Grand Bahama to bring us up to speed on the final day of activities. And from the looks of it, Theo is having quite a great time in my hometown. Theo?
Good evening, Janaea. Coming to you live from the Freeport Business Expo here on Grand Bahama Island. You know, last night after we finished that broadcast, you were teasing me about why I didn't hop on that ATV behind me. So I told you I would deliver on giving you some interactive experience. So I hopped into this pedal cruiser tonight. I got a seat here on my left-hand side waiting for you, but that's not what the story is about tonight. Tonight, we are talking about the wrap-up of this 2-day event. I had a chat with an executive from the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Glendea Sweeting, and she says they are over the moon about not only the foot traffic that came through these 2 doors over the last 2 days, but also the investment opportunities for Grand Bahamian businesses and international vendors who came to showcase. I also told you last night about an exciting pitch competition. 5 Grand Bahamian businesses walked away with thousands of dollars in grant funding. Let's dive right into tonight's story.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority is just really happy not only to do this just by themselves, but to work with partners to be able to reinvest in the community of licensees, of entrepreneurs. It means a lot when you find that the regulator, the person or the group that's running the city is taking advantage of the opportunity to help others. That is what we do every day. We always say we try to better the lives of Bahamians. This is a key example where we're doing it for businesses.
That's Glendea Sweeting of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. With the 2-day expo now complete and hundreds of business owners coming out to experience the expo, the real work now begins.
I think one of the biggest takeaways in what success looks like for this particular event is the fact that we're hearing from our international exhibitors that Bahamians have taken advantage of what's here by way of product. They are interested. There will be some additional discussions, opportunities for them to get together. And hey, what probably will end up happening is we're going to be able to see so much more people operating in an authentic way in the tourism space. And of course, we don't have to worry about competition because everybody would be able to benefit.
A pitch competition hosted Friday afternoon allowed 5 Grand Bahamian entrepreneurs to pitch their business ideas to investors. Tying for first place was D'Angelo Curie of Port Lockers and Taria Lundy of Pedal Pirates Tours, each walking away with $12,500.
Port Lockers is basically a smart locker solution. We cater to tourists or anyone who needs to store valuables for a temporary period of time. So definitely the next step for us is expansion, being able to set up smaller remote locations as well as investing into our website and infrastructure to grow the business.
The grand prize means covering the cost of our licensing, road insurance, and then of course amplifying our marketing.
Walking away with second place was Missick's Conch Excursions, the brainchild Reno Missick, walking away with $7,000.
The company will be based on tours with guests and locals, sharing the knowledge about our local community, and actually getting hands-on with diving, catching, cooking their own conch. It's a good start for the business because it's going to be a new one for the Bahamas. So the funding is well appreciated. And
Alexis Bethel of Bahama Isles Picnics and Water Sports snagged third place and $6,000 in grant funding.
The idea of the business is to give guests a personalized picnic experience. What makes it unique is that guests get the opportunity to personalize their experience through authentic Bahamian culture.
And rounding out the 5 winners, Janico Bevins of Dive VR Bahamas. His business won $4,000 in grant funding.
The services they offer is the virtual snorkeling experience. It'll be one of the first in the Bahamas. Technology, I feel, is a huge part of the world right now. One of the biggest global industries right now. So I feel like it's very important to my business model and what I choose to do because that's the area the world is headed. I feel like anybody who have an idea, if you have the idea, just go with it. I don't feel like no idea is a bad idea once you could make it work and actually reap the benefits of it.
Is today the end of the road for you, or are you going to be looking for more grant funding?
No, sir. Today is not the end of the road for me. I am looking for more grant funding, and I'm open to anybody who can help.
And for those who didn't attend the 2-day event, which was completely free,
this is a unique opportunity because expos like this, it brings together a lot of the stakeholders when it comes to creating a business. You have the financiers, you have the persons who have the infrastructure, and so persons who may not have money, or once you come to expos like this, you get the ideas and everything is pretty much brought together.
So, Janelle, while my story was playing, I made my way over to this international vendor. I'm actually wearing a VR headset, and I'm looking at virtual reality right now. If you just look at the screen over my right shoulder, you can see that I'm looking at the Nassau cruise port. I'm looking at 360 views. If I just click my finder right here, I'm at Junkanoo Beach looking at the Point and Margaritaville. If I click it again, I'm looking at views of Nassau still while I'm here in Grand Bahama. And if I click it one more time, I'm at the Atlantis Resort now. These are just some of the unique products being offered here by international vendors here at the Freeport Expo. Again, mind-blowing for a lot of Grand Bahamian business owners. This is just a taste of some of the products that's been offered to them in terms of getting into the tourism sector here on Grand Bahama Island. So all in all, vendors as well as executives from the Grand Bahama Port Authority saying that this year's event has been quite exciting and successful. For me, it's also been an eye-opening experience here in Grand Bahama Island, so I'm looking forward to coming back next year for the 3rd Freeport Business Expo. Until then, Theo Seeley reporting live from Grand Bahama Island, sending it back to you live on the desk, Janelle.
Thanks, Theo. Having way too much fun. Well, the big weekend for environmentalists and conservation enthusiasts on Grand Bahama Island, as Blue Action Conservation Cove, in partnership with additional stakeholders, is geared up to host a community day on Saturday at its Blue Action Coral Vita Conservation Cove location. The event is aimed at providing Grand Bahamians, young and old, with a first-hand introduction to the work that's being done within the Conservation Cove to protect and harvest coral, conch, and mangroves. As the world shifts toward a bigger focus on sustainability and eco-friendly habits of the event, they want to encourage Grand Bahamians to become more minded about the importance of protecting the environment and how they can play a bigger role in becoming environment ambassadors here at home, and the lucrative career opportunities that the industry presents as well. Anne-Marie Carroll explains.
We're very lucky to be sponsored by some special corporates as well.
So Blue Action has developed Conservation Cove in collaboration with Coral Vita, Waterkeepers Bahamas, their Mangrove Mania sector, and again with our Conch Lab. So we are hosting Community Day to invite people from the Grand Bahamian community and any visitors that are on island to come and see the work that we're doing. So Coral Vita is growing corals, Mangrove Mania from Waterkeepers, they're growing mangroves, and like I said, we are growing Queen Conch. So we want everybody to come and see firsthand what we're doing. They can actually get into the touch tanks, put their hands in the touch tanks, maybe hold a starfish, hold a queen conch. They get to plant some mangroves. We also have vendors and other environmental partners coming out. So we have people like the Bahamas National Trust who will be here. They'll have a booth here. Bonefish Tarpon Trust, and we also have UB North. So all of these organizations, they've been partners with us throughout our work, and we're excited that they're able to support us in this event. We also have vendors. So along with supporting the environment and our environmental efforts, we also want to support our community. So our community, we have a lot of artisans that are making candles, making straw work, anything like that. So we have a lot of local vendors that are selling local items here. You'll have food on site. There's a lot of things happening. So come on down. We also have an art exhibition from the Royal Geographic Society, which was sponsored by the British High Commission. So that'll be on display. So you can come walk and see that. We have arts and crafts for kids as well as for adults. There's something for everybody.
And the event would not be possible without the generosity of various stakeholders coming together to provide financial support for the Community Day, which kicks off at 10 a.m. on Saturday until 3:30 in the afternoon. Rupert Hayward telling us about those who came on board to make the upcoming Community Day a reality.
We're very lucky to be sponsored by some special corporates as well. We've got Canupay, one of the largest online payment platforms in the region. We've got MSC Foundation, who have been a huge support of ours. The Grand Bahama Port Authority are continuously supporting all the initiatives that we do. Freeport Ship Services, Solomon's and Lucaya as well. We've got Kelly's, we've got Focol. We've got Caribbean Wine and Spirits, and also the Grand Bahama Power Company. All of them have provided grants to help with this event and are continuous supporters and allow these great initiatives to happen.
Well, a significant milestone reached yesterday in Eleuthera as government officials and community leaders gathered for the official groundbreaking of the Ocean Hole Estates Project, a bold initiative aimed at promoting sustainable ownership and driving community development across the island. During the ceremony, the Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, also addressing another critical issue facing the island: energy infrastructure.
So the challenges in Eleuthera in reference to electricity is more than just supply. It's also transmission and distribution as well. So BPL has put together a strong management plan where if you pass on the road, you'll see a lot of the side bushes getting cut, trimmed. You'll see new lines getting put in, new lamp poles being erected to help with the transmission distribution.
While speaking on the government's ongoing energy reform plan, Minister Sweeting shared updates on initiatives aimed at improving electricity distribution throughout Eleuthera. He acknowledged existing challenges, but emphasized the government's commitment to ensuring more reliable, efficient power delivery for residents and businesses.
When you look at the energy reform plan that was announced a few weeks ago with the PPA with EA Energy, that would help with in regards to supply. The challenge, well, not the challenge, but the thing with Eleuthera now is that the economic boom, with that also comes the need for more energy.
Waste collection industry stakeholders, they held a meeting recently with the Department of Environmental Health outlining operational challenges they face while serving the community. Proprietor Henry Dean outlining some of the issues they face and how residents can help in the process.
In some areas, our guys are confronted with filth, human feces and urine, and it's really bad. And so we asked the ministry or the department to do a public education that homeowners will understand what's happening and help the process. There's also this confusion that people with 4 and 5 apartment units expect service. The government says 1, 2, 3. Anything beyond 3, you have to pay to have that service done. And there's constant complaint. There is occasion, more often than not, where persons do cooking at home, create a huge amount of garbage and keep calling to complain that the garbage is not being collected when in fact it is collected. They generate extra garbage and want it done freely. All of these things help to create the problem. Some of us are delinquent, some of us are off track, And yes, some of us have to pull up our boots to get things better organized.
Well, officials within the department, along with the Minister of Environment, Von Miller, stressing the importance of this service to the wider community. And to that effort, he says it's everyone's business.
Here in the department, we have, in several locations, we have placed designated dumpsters or bins to avoid persons from discriminately just going into the bush and dumping the garbage here, there, and what's not. We have bins there in the South Beach area, out east in the Yamacraw, along with Coral Harbor, and in the All Saints area. These bins are free. Persons in the community have access to them to offload their refuse, their bulk waste or what's not, in somehow to alleviate the dumping of illegal waste throughout the island of the Bahamas.
They produce waste much quicker, much faster than other areas. And so, one of the things I asked the operators to do, the owners to advise their operators to do, is to please, if they are collecting in areas and they realize the streets are filled with litter and the streets are not up to par, to please call us. Please call us and inform us so that we can have persons dispatched to take care of those issues. And that will help us to keep our streets, to keep our communities, and to keep our island clean and green.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, everyone to the water as swim class is now in session. We've got the details coming up, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Nassau, are you ready? It's the return of Major Hype, and he wants to know.
You say you want problem with me today? Okay, no problem. If you want problem with me, that's okay. I'm just going to.
Paragon Nights presents
King of Caribbean Comedy.
Saturday, May 3rd at the Bahamas Ballroom, hosted by the hilarious Sawyer Boys. Tickets available now at Stiletto's Shoe Loft and online for Platinum Table reservations. WhatsApp 803-2659.
Nassau, make sure y'all pull up.
The Major Hype Comedy Show live.
It's gonna be crazy, crazy.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, 150 young men from across the country coming together, not just for fellowship, but for growth and guidance and also vision. The Governor General's Boys Retreat held at Government House is more than just an event. Officials say it's a movement. Over 2 days, the boys took part in a leadership building workshop, team activities, and personal development sessions, all designed to challenge, inspire, and equip them for the road ahead. Secretary to the Governor General, Jack Thompson, says the retreat is an investment in the future of the nation's young men.
We've developed, as a part of our three-pronged approach, respect, responsibility, and values. And so we were able to identify through the urban renewal, through the counselors at the school, even some parents recommended their children, and they thought that they would benefit from this. And so we have young men from throughout all of our islands. You know, our theme is up where we belong. Men should be up, not down, up. And it's no accident that we're here at Mount Fitzwilliam. Look at this, this is the Mount. We could have had this in the hotel, we could have requested a school hall. No, we wanted Mount Fitzwilliam.
And according to the Governor General's office, this is just the beginning. The retreat is set to become an annual initiative, creating a platform where speakers can share their journeys and young men can see themselves in stories of struggle, success, and service. It's a program built to shape the kind of leadership our communities and our countries need the most.
No, I was a delinquent. Got myself in a lot of problem when I was young. And I've learned from those errors and those mistakes, not paying attention, being disrespectful, not listening to authority, listening to my mommy. And it really caused me and my family a lot of pain. And they are right at that age when I was acting out. So I felt if I can share my life and some stuff I went through, it will encourage them to stay on the right path.
15 Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marines receiving their swim coaching certifications after some 2 years of training with Let's Swim Bahamas, a ceremony being held at the Coral Harbor Base. Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe says this training is a commitment by the armed forces to be more present within communities.
That is important because it's a part of the collaborative approach to addressing what our potential is. Now, it may appear that, as I said in my remarks, that you're just talking about teaching young children how to swim, which is very important because we live on islands. And so it's more than teaching them how to swim. It's teaching them life lessons, spirituality, and that's a part of how we're going to regain this nation. And I'm happy to see, and we're happy to support this particular effort. It takes some organizing for these Marines to be permitted to have time to do this and come back to duties. But in my estimation, it's well worth it.
Director of Let's Swim Bahamas, Andy Knowles, says the onboarding of Marines to be swim coaches is due to the uptick in student participation, ensuring that all hands are on deck.
You need a lot of people. And this morning, having all of these Marines having gone through the training, having gone through the hours. Some of them like 500 hours of helping coach now. So when you have all of that, we have reliable people. These guys show up on time. The young kids look up to them as role models. We don't have to beg them to be there. They're there because they're trained to be Defense Force. They know it's important to be there on time. Set a good example. So because of that, we can do all the sites we're doing. And our goal from the beginning, from when we first started, is to be able to do every primary school in the province. That's 24 schools. We have done actually 16, but working with 14 right now. So within the next 3 years, we hope to be able to do all the schools, and that means another couple sites. We would not be able to do that if it wasn't for the buy-in, the working relationship, partnership we have with the Defense Force.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Laurencia Smith has your latest check on sports. Good evening, Laurencia.
Good night, Janaea. We are highlighting one of our rising judo superstars. I'll tell you who straight ahead in sports.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bookie Brand at the Beauty Shack, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th, come by boat and play and experience the legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports tonight, we're on the judo mat.
Ranking in judo is 19 in the world in U21.
That's 18-year-old Bahamian judo star Xavion Johnson, making waves on the international stage. He's currently ranked amongst the top 20 junior judo athletes in the world and holds the number 4 spot in the entire Pan American region. And Johnson says that it's been a long journey to this point, but also rewarding, adding that his resilience has been the secret to his success.
Be the first one to make history for Bahamas in this sport. And I just keep repeating that over and over in my head. I just keep saying that I'm the best. And even the days when I don't feel motivated and stuff.
Driven by his love for the sport, Johnson has taken his judo journey from the humble training session on floor mats here at home, all the way to top-tier facilities in Atlanta and Montreal, Canada. There he is committed to an intense training schedule, up to 40 hours a week, as he begins his Olympic campaign. With his sights set firmly on the 2028 LA Olympic Games, the Bahamian athlete is on a mission to make history. But before stepping into the Olympic stage, Johnson is focused on climbing the world junior ranking, gaining key international experience and representing the Bahamas proudly at every major competition along the way.
Since that's not the question, is junior Pan American Games champion for sure, and to try and win my first European Cup medal in Europe, then also try to become junior world champion.
As his campaign continues to LA, Johnson stands as a powerful example of what possibility when talent, discipline, and perseverance come together. His recent rise in the global ranking is more than a personal triumph, as it is a testament to the growth and persistence of Bahamian excellence on the world stage, beyond the pool and the track.
And to show people all around the world that Bahamas isn't this isn't a dominant other sports. I want Bahamas to be dominant in other sports around the world to make a name for our country.
Well, we're looking forward to great things from Xavion. Well, on your mark, get set, go.
In line with kids' athletics celebration around the world, the Bahamas is gearing up to honor one of its own, track and field icon, Frank Poncho Ramming. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, will host the 2025 Frank Poncho Ramming Primary School National Track and Field Championships from May 6th to the 8th at the original Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. It is the biggest primary school meet in the country, with hundreds of young athletes from across the island set to take the track and go for gold. Here's Sports Minister Mario Boleg.
It stands as a beacon of promise and possibility in the landscape of youth sports in the Bahamas. This cherished event is far more than a competition. It is a stepping stone where dreams begin, character is built, and greatness is born. Each year, this meet provides a critical foundation for identifying and nurturing our future track and field stars. Those who will one day represent the Bahamas at the regional Carifta Games and ultimately on the global stage at the Olympic Games. It is here, on this very field, that raw talent is discovered.
Now, the opening ceremony for the Track and Field Championships are scheduled for this coming Tuesday. We're looking forward to great things from our future Carifta gold medalists and one-day Olympians. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands, like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon, flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
I win at Island Lock. We take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news at this hour. Again, our condolences going out to the Moner family from all of us here at ILTV Studios. Coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller. Reflections on the life of Rodney continue. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal, saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2, see the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3, enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space? The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Straight ahead tonight, he was a key figure on the roster of the ILTV lineup, someone that entered your homes and won your hearts. Tonight, the ILTV family remembers Rodney Moner.
Thunder and lightning!
I understand my people, the Negro people. I understand them, so I know how to speak to my people.
March like you've never marched again.
As leader of the people them and leader of the woman them, I lead the revolution. Revolution is life.
To the people around the world, to my Negro people, I wish you peace, love, and progress.
A popular radio personality and a man who brought light, humor, and a different flavor to the media. Also tonight, Bay Street on fire again last night. The fire destroyed an entire block, and tonight we ask the question, could it have been avoided? And later, Felipe McLean, the CEO of the Rosewood Exuma Project, joins me from Staniel Key to talk about a community meeting yesterday. We also hear from some business owners who were at that meeting. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, former senator and radio host Rodney Moner has passed away. Moner passed away early this morning. In recent weeks, Moner had been recovering after a surgical procedure. His devoted fans anticipated his return to the air and looked forward to his sometimes stinging and often humorous opinions shared on his daily show, Freedom March. We're going to remember him tonight. Joining me this evening is Rodney Moner's sidekick on Freedom March, his spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, and also Eyewitness News Director, Janea Noel. Good evening to both of you and welcome to Be on the Headlines.
Thank you so much. Good to be here. Thank you, Shanique.
I know it's a very tough time. Janea, you've been up since midnight into this morning. Spiritual advisor, you've tried to pull it together since this morning. Spiritual advisor, let's start with you. Let's talk about Rodney Moner as the person that you sat beside daily. I mean, 5 days a week, five afternoons a week. How are you coping? How are you feeling? And obviously, tell us about maybe just some humorous observation. We saw him back there just a moment ago on the screen, being the person who came to endear himself to the Bahamian people.
Well, Shanique, to be honest, it's been a really difficult day from about 12:30 last night up to now. And the reality is, if there was no Rodney Moner, then there'll be no spiritual advisor. And so understanding the relationship over the last 15 years is rather important. And so me and Rodney initially met at a breakfast club. And of course that relationship spiraled into a combination that became well known to the country, and not only here to the country, but other parts of the world as well. Rodney is a very, very unique character indeed, I must say. A lot of folks misunderstand him. When Rodney looked at my character in the Breakfast Club, Rodney decided that the debates that we had in the Breakfast Club, whether it was politics or religion, I didn't know, it was unbeknown to me. But he said that if he ever had a talk show, that I would be the guy who would be a spiritual advisor. Mm-hmm. And so it turned out to be that way. He's been a very, very important key figure in my life. I appreciate all the things he's done for me. Giving me an opportunity to be on the stage with him is unbelievable.
Unselfishly, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And
was there ever any spiritual advice given?
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, some folks thought he didn't take it, but of course we would privately sit down and talk about things that we discussed on air, the spiritual matters, and he would take those things very seriously.
Janea, what people might not know is that while Rodney appeared like he sat there and spontaneously just pulled the show together on air, he gave a lot of thought. And this is where I met Rodney. I met this relationship going on. Rodney knew the newsroom like the rest of us know it. Rodney would come in there, sit with you, sit with reporters, talk, do his research. That was the Rodney that the newsroom, besides the funny man and all the jesting and sometimes forgetting his keys or not knowing where this and that is in the newsroom, this was the Rodney, though, that we know, the one who meticulously took his time to plan before he went on air.
Shanique, it was a knock at the door every day at about 3 o'clock, between the hours of 3 and 3:30. You would hear that, and someone would race and answer the door, and he would hold up his hand and demand that we address him. And that was Rodney every day. And his favorite line was, anyone he dead, any rape, any robbery, what's going on in the news? And he demanded that someone take the time and brief him, whether that be the crime report, whether that be a breaking news story. Rodney commanded the room. He demanded our attention. It's 3 o'clock in the day in a busy news cycle day, Shanique, and he's demanding that, hey, I don't care what you have going on. I need you to give me your full attention. And many times we say, Mr. Moner, we busy. We don't have no time to talk to you right now. And he would say, hey, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm old. I'm an old man.
He always said that.
So please bear with me. And I stopped and I reflected on how I would want someone to treat my grandparents or someone, much older. And I gave him that grace. We accommodated him. I made sure that he got the information he needed. And sometimes it wasn't just information. Rodney would come there with a whole legal file and say, I need you to type this for me. I said, Rodney, it's 3 o'clock in the day. News in a couple hours. We have breaking news coming in. But he did not care what was going on. He demanded that attention. And we all in the newsroom gave him that respect. Rodney is also responsible for many times some of the breaking stories we've had. He would come in there, or he would call me early in the morning and he'd say, "You won't get that news yet? You need to hurry up, put that up." I said, "Okay, boss, right away. What is it?" And he would say, "No, I calling you to confirm. That's your job." Because me, his favorite line was, "I only play journalism." That was his favorite line. He said, "I play journalism, but I leave that, to you to dissect and get the information." So sometimes me and him would be on the phone early in the morning, going over some news stories, or he would get a tip and he would call me, or I would get a news tip and I would call him, and we would work like that under the former commissioner of police. Sometimes he was the only one who could have gotten in touch with the former commissioner. So he would call and confirm certain information for us. And it was just a bond of friendship, a really close relationship that he had with all of us in the newsroom. And today it is truly heartbreaking for us. Some of the reporters, they went out last night to see Rodney at the hospital after we learned of his passing, and to see him lying there, lifeless, all of the life and vigor. It's such a heartbreaking moment for all of us here at Eyewitness News, because he was such an integral part of our Eyewitness News family.
He absolutely was. And like I said, it's a relationship I walked in on nearly 4 years ago. And it was something spiritual advisor, I respected it. And I just fell in line, meaning, of course, that's when I started. And I met Rodney doing exactly as Janaea said. I even debated him many times in terms of discussing what it is, to hear his thoughts before I would discuss something, or he would ask me, and well, what is this? It was that kind of relationship, and I respected how he respected the newsroom, and including you all, Janaea. He highly respected. He just didn't come in and demand it. He also respected the newsroom. He respected you, Janaea, your leadership. And that is what Rodney did. I'll tell you, I first became aware of Rodney on Bay Street in Junkanoo. One of those, I don't even know what you call it, fun group. The fun group, right? Advocating for hanging,
Yes,
pulling this kind of trolley behind him.
The Scream monster costume.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that
the
same
Grim
part.
Reaper.
Yes, and the headlines are tacked onto the trolley that he was carrying of any headlines to do with crime, because he was an advocate for hanging. I want to ask each of you, what will be your fondest memory that you will hold on to in the days, the weeks, the months, the years ahead?
Well, my fondest memory of Rodney would be his heart for those who, were not treated right in society. Rodney had a heart for, the downtrodden and the less fortunate, and that's going to be one of the most fondest memories I would hold of him. Understand his heart and his passion for people who didn't have what other people would have. And I would always remember that.
For me, Shanique, it's never to take too much out of a situation, despite all of the ills that was happening around us, despite all of the tragedy that he advocated for. At the end of the day, Munker would take it all in stride. He would be that voice for the voiceless, but at the end of the day, he can have a good time. He can break out in a song or dance, or he can put on his sombrero. He can play on his guitar, and he tell you, sing with me. I mean, last year he sang me a happy birthday song, and he always ended, anytime we ended a conversation, he said, "You must submit to the man them. I have you in charge of the woman them. I need you to submit." So, Rodney, I submit.
She's finally submitted, Rodney, finally. I thank you both for being here. Today, ILTV CEO Gershon Major extended deepest condolences to Mr. Monker's wife, his children, and extended family. Major said that Monker was more than a colleague here. He was a devoted husband, a loving father, a trusted friend, and a proud voice for the voiceless. Major continued that as host of the Freedom March show, Rodney became a bold advocate for the poor, for women, and for children. Major said here at the Verizon Media Group, Rodney Monker's life ought not just be remembered, but certainly celebrated. May he rest in peace.
Security Depot makes shopping in the Bahamas easy. Shop the latest appliances, electronics, furniture, gadgets, toys, and so much more on our website, securitydepot242.com. See an item you like? Simply click on it, move to cart, and check out with the option of in-store pickup or home delivery. Endless possibilities are at securitydepot242.com.
Nassau, are you ready? It's the return of Major Hype, and he wants to know.
You see one problem with me today? Okay, no problem. If you want problem with me, that's okay. I'm just going to.
Paragon Nights presents
King of Caribbean Comedy.
Saturday, May 3rd at the Bahamas Ballroom, hosted by the hilarious Sawyer Boys. Tickets available now at Stiletto's Shoe Loft and online for platinum table reservations. WhatsApp 803-2659.
Nassau, make sure y'all pull up.
The Major Hype Comedy Show live.
It's going to be crazy, crazy.
Sizzling summer savings start early at Grand Bahama Tiles with a 25% off store-wide sale. This Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, catch the savings and upgrade your home decor early with sizzling summer deals. And don't miss our 35%, 40%, and 60% off summer clearance corner. It's a hot, sizzling summer store-wide sale at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920. Some restrictions apply.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day, and don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, you all saw the top segment where we had the spiritual advisor of Rodney Moner and Eyewitness News Director Janaea Noel reflect on the memory of Rodney Moner, sharing some fond memories and highlights of the past few years. We're going to pick up right there in this segment with the Hot Topics panelists, where we're going to allow them, Rodney was somebody who was his own person in his own media, to tell you the truth, and hosting that show, it was, humorous and a whole lot of other things. And so many people watched Rodney just for relief many times, and of course to be informed as well, and also to hear his take on many of the issues. And these two individuals did as well. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, our contributors, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. It's good to have you both here.
Good evening, Sinead. Good evening, Bahamas.
Thank you for welcoming me back again for another episode of Beyond the Headlines. Good to be here.
It's good to have you as well, Garth. Gentlemen, I know everyone was just stunned to receive the information. I'm not going to repeat what I said in the first segment, but I just want to give you an opportunity, because I know we all spoke earlier today, and you all had quite a mouthful to say, and just your thoughts on Rodney and what his legacy is likely to be.
The first time I met Rodney Moner was at a radio station on Carmichael Road, and a now sitting senator was also present. We were on the same show, and Rodney Moner had very harsh words to tell him, and I'm like, who does this? What type of a man does this? And I immediately just recognized that this man has very strong character. He's not afraid to be shunned. He's not afraid to be welcomed. He is who he is. He has been his own man, a statue of strength in our country. And I just simply have to say that, if anything else, we admire him for the strong man that he was. We've had many before him. We pray that his spirit continues to live on in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, that we'll be encouraged, other men, to be strong like he was and speak actually what's on your heart and have no fear of the consequences.
The Bahamas has lost a good Bahamian last night, Rodney Moner. First, I want to say, express my deepest sympathy to his precious wife and the other family members. I first met the young man as a teacher back in 1971 at C.C. Sweeting. I used to teach him in commerce along with other students. And I've seen him mature through the years and has become a prolific conveyor of assisting the down and out. There's not a cause in this country that was powerful that he was not a part of. With the hanging.
That's where you started,
with,
the hanging, yeah.
Helping the women, the less fortunate. In fact, he was known as the man who leaded the women there. Mm-hmm. And they're going to miss him sorely on his untimely passing. He has been sick for some time, I understand, and had problems for quite a while. And Dr. Dwayne Sands indicated that, in his opinion, he simply couldn't take any more, and he decided to go home with his Lord and his Maker. When I think of Rodney, I think of a saying, says that the wise man does not expect to find life worth living. He makes it that way. Mm. And the turbulence that went through his life as a young man, and he came out ahead of the game.
Yes.
He's done a wonderful job on behalf of the Bahamian people, especially the women, and I said again, those who couldn't speak for themselves, Rodney spoke for them. And I trust that God would give him peace and serenity in his home going. I'm sure he's going to be missed daily. But when you reflect on it, he's there now with Darrell Miller, another great Bahamian who did so much for the average Bahamian and brought so much laughter to our life, He's going to be missed, really, really missed. And I trust that his family would bear the pain and sorrow all of us is going through right now. I just want to thank God for giving him to us, for the time that he gave him to us.
Yes, all rest in peace. Gentlemen, last evening also, the night just started with an unbelievable set of news, an alert from the Royal Bahamas Police Force media that there was a fire on Bay Street, a structural fire, and so you hoped with everything in you that this was something that could have been immediately contained and sort of extinguished the blaze, and that was it. But it turned out quite differently. Here's Laurencia Smith, and then we'll come back and discuss.
A late-night fire tore through sections of Bay Street, reducing a building to its shell and impacting several businesses along both Bay Street and Elizabeth Avenue. Emergency crew working well into Friday morning, but the blaze caused significant damage before it was brought under control. Also getting caught in the crossfire, Victoria Court, that was a home to 29 families. A longtime tenant who wished to remain off camera says that her home was the first to catch fire, and she recalled how she repeatedly called for assistance.
I called the police, and I was saying, you need more support, you need more fire engines. And the response was, sorry, ma'am, we know what is going through. We are doing the best that we can.
Hours after the blaze broke out, fire services were still on scene, using bucket trucks to douse lingering hotspots. Small pockets of fire continued to burn, with the flames tearing through from the top floor to the second, leaving the building severely damaged. While another displaced resident who also wished to remain off camera called Victoria Court home for just 6 months also expressed frustration, saying that the fire could have been prevented.
This building didn't have to burn, and the building on the corner of Elizabeth Avenue didn't have to burn because the fire jumped all the way across an empty lot to that building.
Eyewitness News was the first on the scene just after 9 p.m. Thursday night as massive orange flames lit up the night sky. Fire crews worked frantically to contain the blaze, which spread rapidly with every shift of the wind. At one point during the night, the airport was temporarily shut down to aid emergency response effort. Authorities describing the operation as a coordinated multi-agency response. Commissioner of Police Shanton Holt on the ground with fire crews late into the night, refuting claims that there were issues with resources.
No, not to my knowledge. Water was not a challenge. We had water in our trucks, all 6 trucks that responded to this. Along with the Defense Force, and we were pumping from the sea. So we did not have a challenge with water. We still don't have a challenge with water.
Now, traffic diversion has been one of the major impacts from this blaze. However, according to Director General within the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, it has no impact on tourists as many still have an opportunity to explore what all of Nassau has to offer.
40,000 cruise ship passengers on a busy day that would traverse Nassau, downtown and the surrounding areas. Those visitors can still come and enjoy the destination.
Now, fire services are continuing to work around the clock to manage the aftermath of this blaze, and they noted that investigations are underway. Laurentia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, this brings back memories of the straw market fire in 2001. So many things to talk about in terms of the response to this fire. It is believed the fire started in an abandoned building. We will talk about that. But your thoughts on just getting that information that there was a structural fire on Bay Street. What was the initial thought?
Well, I was appalled. I recall when I was in high school, the bustling area of Bay Street. I remember like Stop and Shop and other stores going down there. They had to actually run us off of Bay Street when we were high schoolers because everyone headed downtown after school. It was just a magnificent place to be. I do recall when the straw market fire did take place, and my God, we were saying, hey, they couldn't find water. And the main people, we're adjusting people. We say, well, all the water right in the ocean, use the ocean water.
We did say that.
For some time, I have been a proponent of the derelict buildings on Bay Street to be demolished, that the owners should be found. They should either be fined or they should be encouraged to restore those buildings or simply just destroy the buildings and to just revamp the entire Bay Street strip. To now know that it's possible that a derelict building may actually be associated with this particular fire and may have actually started there. To me, it's just simply horrifying. Who owns this abandoned building? Have they been encouraged to tear this building down, or did they stand against their building being torn down? Because this building now may just have been the actual culprit in the other building that was occupied by individuals to actually be destroyed by fire. Shanique, I'll tell you what caught my attention. I saw a report of a lady there. She was not Bahamian by way of her accent or her appearance to me. And she was saying, somebody call the Prime Minister, call the Deputy Prime Minister, somebody who has close contact with these people,
really?
To call the Prime Minister. And I said, wait a minute, even the foreigner knows when you want to get something done in this country, some of his influence needs to call the one who has total control, which is the Prime Minister or Deputy Prime Minister. Mm-hmm. And so it's sad to see that this fire has taken place. We've heard earlier that there's a possible fire in the Faith Gardens area, and no fire truck has been on scene for over an hour. And so it seemed at this particular time, Shanique Miller, that, the Bahamas is on fire. We are short on equipment, and something has to be done quickly to address this ongoing issue. There was also another fire that I actually witnessed close to.
Well, let's stay on this fire for a moment and talk about all the other fires earlier
There's
today.
fire everywhere, yeah.
Because this fire, you mentioned several things. You mentioned the derelict building, the abandoned building where the fire is believed to have started, and the fact that Leslie, this just started right there, and it perhaps could have been contained. But it was allowed to spread, and I think it burnt people out of their homes, and they have lost everything.
Randy Road from the Ministry of Tourism was responsible primarily for clearing Bay Street and getting that area cleaned up once and for all. I know he took down a building owned by Louis Stokes, which was the latest building that was put on Bay Street. That was the first one torn down. But it appears to me that persons have these derelict buildings has been there now for over 50 years, eh? Mm-hmm. As a little boy, I remember the Stop and Shop, all the big shops, yes. KS, Moses, and the rest. Mm-hmm. Every Christmas we used to walk with them, buy our shoes, buy our skates,
Beautiful place.
and what have you. It's a pity that sufficient pressure wasn't put on them by the Ministry of Works and by
Town
the Ministry
planning.
of Town Planning and Tourism, really.
Well, Randy Rowe, Leslie,
And
as
Randy
you
was
mentioned,
transferred
Randy was doing
unceremoniously transferred someplace else.
Leslie, Randy was doing an incredible
He
job.
was, he was.
I don't understand why he was reassigned or why the work didn't continue if he was reassigned. Because I remember interviewing him here several times. He was meeting with those business owners who themselves should be held responsible for just having an eyesore on Bay Street. But he was meeting with them, working with them, getting their cooperation to get the buildings either demolished or somehow address them, just being there as just open spaces and an invitation for any illicit activity to happen. And who knows how this happened? Who knows how it started?
He was very impressive.
Yeah, he is now the executive chairman of Consumer Affairs in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, or Ministry of Mike Hamalkida's ministry, doing a wonderful job there, protecting again the citizens of our country.
Well, meantime, the work that
No one has been replaced. He has
he
not
was
been
doing
replaced.
at tourism
And
has
that's a
just
pity.
been left right there,
Yeah.
paused, and nothing has happened since. So who's to bear responsibility? Now let's just move further along. It's also been said that the fire could have been prevented, but the spread of the fire rather could have been prevented.
Now, fire engines again?
We have fire engines. I'll tell you, I got, and this is from a reliable source. I'm just going to read it in just partially. I got this information from somebody who is well placed, as I said, a source. I have to speak while this is fresh in my mind and heart. The Bahamas has to do better. Last night, I watched my home at Victoria Gardens I watched my home at Victoria Court be completely destroyed by fire. What hurts even more is knowing it could have been handled better. We had one fire truck on the scene, trying to fight a massive blaze with little to no water.
In a four-story building.
The fire started around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening in an abandoned building next door and quickly spread to the west wing of our building. It reached my apartment on the east wing by 1:45 a.m. It was fully engulfed. Hopeful that the fire could have been contained in a more vigorous manner. It wasn't. We watched our neighbor's apartment engulf first, followed by ours. We had to wait almost an hour and a half for the airport fire truck, so that's just one more fire truck, to come and assist us. And even that could only spare about 45 seconds to a minute of water before needing to refill again. We then waited nearly 40 minutes before it could return. So how many fire trucks are on the island?
Fire trucks?
Wait, we waited 45 minutes before it could return before it could return with more water. Imagine that. Imagine the hopeless faces of Victoria Court residents. We stood there empty, watching everything we owned be reduced to smoke and ashes. Yes, I understand the fire was described as monstrous and hard to contain, but it truly felt like all the focus and effort went on protecting Bay Street while our homes, our lives, our memories were left to burn. I'm devastated. I am disappointed, and I'm calling for change. Our communities deserve better emergency response. We need accountability, preparation, and real protection, not excuses. We need help.
And you know, that structure was such a beautiful structure. I think it was erected by an Englishman about 60, 70 years ago. And you know, you can pass the building and not even notice it's there, you know. That's what's so amazing with the building over the last 50 years. I've noticed the building next door. That's where Kenny used to be.
Leslie, I have to read this again. These messages came in this morning. Good morning, Shanique. I hope this message finds you well. I write with a heavy heart and out of growing frustration shared by many. There is a deepening sense of disappointment in the government's failure to adequately resource critical departments such as the fire services. This issue was tragically underscored by the fire that occurred last night on Bay Street. The officers of the fire services of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, assisted by their colleagues from the airport fire department, fought relentlessly to control the blaze and prevent it from spreading to nearby structures. Despite their courageous efforts, Victoria Court, home to several residents, was completely destroyed. People lost everything.
Structure?
People lost everything. Witnessing that devastation moved me to tears, Shanique. But this tragedy is not an isolated event. For years, the fire services has been placed on the back burner, underfunded, overlooked and forced to operate under increasingly dire conditions. The leadership of the department has repeatedly submitted formal requests for basic equipment, including fire trucks and an SCBA tank, refilling machine, which even a proper fire shed. Yet, these appeals have gone unanswered. It has been more than 2.5 years since the old fire shed at the police headquarters was demolished. Officers were promised a new shed, updated equipment, new dormitories, and a modern fire control room. But to date, nothing has materialized.
What appears to be the problem? I mean, why can't they get it right? You're having structures. I mean, these are magnificent structures that cost millions of dollars that were placed in this country. People's lives are now shattered, have to find a place to live, to replace the clothing and everything else. But worse than that, the memories that I've lost my home on gross negligence, really. You know, you have to tell it the way it is. It's gross negligence. Why is it that an island as small as the size of Nassau, 21 by 7, don't have adequate equipment to out a fire? For Christ's sake, man. What if Bahamas or Paradise Island
I think they will
was to have a fire?
We
What
will
would
see
happen
fire
then?
engines
What
in
would
the
happen?
air
What would
because they
happen
will
then?
fly them in immediately.
Huh? What would happen then? What would
you
y'all do?
Which you have to look at,
Huh?
which you have to look at, Mr. Miller. I almost called
Christ's sake, man.
I almost called y'all M&M, you know, Miller and Miller tonight.
Yeah.
But what you have to recognize is that where that fire took place is just a few hundred feet away from your Princess Margaret Hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Now you have patients in there who are
Right.
immobile.
Yes.
It's an enclosed
Absolutely
building. It
right.
has air conditioning services to it.
Yes.
There's been reports of mold and other things. If that catches on fire, spores can spread.
Mhm.
That particular area is what I'm saying to you is very close also to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
national
Yeah.
headquarters
Very sensitive.
for the police force as well.
Yeah, very sensitive.
They are within like less than 5 minutes drive away from this particular site. And so right now we have to look at our entire model as a country, what is going to be important to the Bahamian people. I do like how Beyond the Headlines continues to keep the public informed, but I'm also hoping that those who are officials and in authority would also be listening at this particular cry. We did not cry just once or twice. I think Shanique Miller and her team has been crying numerous times. And listen, man, you have a problem in Grand Bahama, you had a problem in Abaco, you had a problem in Andros, you have a problem in Berry Islands, you got a problem in Eleuthera, you got a problem in Nassau. We, the Bahamian people, say we have these issues. Are you prepared to take care of these issues? Or will it just be rhetoric as usual?
But the big question is, how long it's going to take you to get it right? For Christ's sake, how long it's going to take? For people's lives to be lost? That's what you're looking for? Go and get the damn equipment that's necessary to get the job done, man.
Now,
cut back on whatever you have to cut back on, but save people's lives and save their property.
How much does a fire engine cost, Shanique Miller and
Perhaps
Leslie Miller?
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$150,000, $200,000.
How much does the Prime Minister car cost, Mr. Miller?
Maybe around that or more. What I'm saying is, I recently had on the show the Assistant Commissioner of Police. His name escapes me, in charge of fire services.
Mm-hmm. I remember
just recently with fire was that he came onto the dog on fire of the Ministry of Labor and all that big building there.
Yes.
That happened just a few weeks ago. Yeah. And he said they need immediate attention.
But they have these trucks that can only hold 10,000 gallons of water in some cases.
Where were they from? China?
10,000. They're not from China. No. China can do it right.
Where they from? Because it got to be where.
I guess you got to go to Miami, really.
It's just a matter of priorities. I think the main people are going to be skeptical, Ms. Shanique Miller, because why? Just about every election, we see a new cycle of vehicles in this country. We see the police cars and the other cars for customs, etc. There's always a brand new fleet. The cabinet ministers are getting a new fleet, etc. And so all these fleets are being renewed. Where's the renewal for these services that
renewal and maintenance?
Yeah, for our fire trucks and for other such equipment to protect, and I use the word protect, the citizenry of the Bahamas and their possessions. The threat of life is also very important in situations like this. And some fire brigade should be present, even if it's just simply to save the lives of those in those buildings.
The United States government last year, if you remember, gave the Bahamas government and police force a lot of vehicles, trucks and everything else. Why did they not accrest at least 2 or 3 fire engines at the same time?
It wasn't deemed important at that particular time.
What do you mean it wasn't deemed important?
They never thought about it. Either it's going to take vision moving forward to say we need these things, or it's going to just simply take a reactionary measure to say, you know what, we now need to request these based on past situations.
We've had a long time ago.
We've had the past situations, Mr. Miller. We've had those. We have mentioned those on this very same show.
Over and over again.
And I'm going to ask you a question. We need to now know that some fire trucks and fire equipment is on the way. That would suffice even now. Are we going to wait for another 2, 3, 4 fires that we're going to talk about?
No, you bet.
That needs not
You wait till people get killed.
Well, there have been 2, 3, 4 fires. Today,
Exactly.
let's talk about reports of fire on Marshall Road in that area, and just reports, non-confirmed at this point,
fire trail
that
too,
we
they
can
said.
say fire trail.
Yeah, that's what they said today.
And that
I saw one by
perhaps,
Roca gas station.
and that perhaps homes were also had also been ignited. I'm not sure. What can you say, Garth?
Well, worse than that, with all of this smoke and fire, you're looking at inhalation, you look at people who have asthma and such situations. So you're affecting the health of the nation. The health of our country continues to be in question. The Bahamas government, whichever party it is, they need to now understand, the PSs, etc., that the Bahamian people are our greatest asset. We are our greatest resource. We need a government that's going to care for the Bahamian people. I sat in this very same space with Shanique Miller where we've had questions about the labor force and everything else. Shanique, I just must applaud you now because, we can't wait for situations to happen that happened to our good friend today. We need to give you your roses now. You have fought for the Bahamian people. You've informed the Bahamian people, but more importantly, you said to the government, listen, be kind to the Bahamian people and keep us informed. And so we've been doing that. I've been here with you on that. Mr. Miller, you're a person who has been in the community fighting for people, fighting for families, giving of yourself.
Why you can't get a fire engine?
So government, there are people who are doing their part, but we're just simply saying, can you now do your part? Please, we're asking you to do that.
But you shouldn't beg for something that is a necessity.
Right now, we need to beg. We need to beg.
Listen, these are people who are being paid by the Bahamian People's Public Treasury. Do your job or get lost. Let somebody else do it if you're not capable of doing it, man.
Well, if you think
over and over again.
If you think the Bahamian people are not watching the show tonight, if you think the world is not watching the show tonight, I'm going to tell those people in authority, you better believe that they're watching and they're going to expect you to do the right thing.
Just get it done.
It needs to be done.
If you got to divert funds from tourism or any other entity for $1 million to get us 4 good trucks, go and do it.
It is needed.
Just do it, got to be done, that's all.
In the capital city, here in New Providence, where the bulk of the population reside, that here it is, that there are 2 fire trucks, because the way that was described, it seems as though one, as the person said, one was there, this is what they saw. One was there.
Yeah, with about 10,000 gallons of water.
That part. Then eventually another came from the airport, which that's its own thing, because the airport, the international airport, has its own requirements of how many fire response teams must be there.
That's correct.
But the point about it is that one fire truck. So what? Perhaps the others are broken down and parts missing and no maintenance and all these other things.
Well, I recall when I worked on Paradise Island, that Paradise Island had actually requested a truck. That truck used to be by out east, I think it was near the Elizabeth Estate Station, and that was actually sent over to Paradise Island. So we've always been fighting for additional equipment. But they're supposed to, but you know how our country works. I'm just simply saying that this is not a new problem, Shanique Miller. This is a problem that's been happening now for over a decade, and they need to get it right.
No, it's not. It's for years.
Over 40 years,
longer than that.
Yeah, 4 decades.
Well, I was being safe. I said over a decade to get the benefit of
I
doubt.
thought the issue of fire trucks was so much better here in New Providence. We see what's going on in the Family Islands.
Oh, yeah.
And Andres, right now, there's a fire. Right now, as we speak, there's a fire.
Right now.
Andres has a fire?
Right now.
But
There's a fire right now.
I guess Defense Force officers are going to have to quickly go over there and tote bucket. You know the chain?
But the water's right there again. Why can't they get water? Why can't they get water from the ocean right there? Why?
We need help, Mr. Miller. We just simply need help.
No, we need help. We need people who are capable of doing their damn jobs. And if you're not capable, go home. That's what we need.
The people will send them home in this upcoming election.
If you're not capable, see why you're way out.
Yeah.
I was saying, Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, thank you both very much. It really is quite troubling, something that must be addressed. We are nearing now, we now have fire season in the Bahamas, and so it's necessary to have the adequate emergency response.
Suppose one of the hotels catch fire, think of that.
Oh, don't even say
British
it.
Colonial, suppose one of them catch fire.
Don't even say it.
What can happen?
Don't say it, Leslie.
Huh?
I agree. We don't even want to have that thought. I thank you, gentlemen, very, very much. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to go to Staniel Key, where the owner of the Rosewood Exuma project is standing there with a couple business owners, and they're going to talk about a community meeting that happened yesterday. Stay close. Yeah.
Sizzling summer savings start early at Grand Bahama Tiles with a 25% off store-wide sale. This Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, catch the savings and upgrade your home decor early with sizzling summer deals. And don't miss our 35%, 40%, and 60% off summer clearance corner. It's a hot, sizzling summer store-wide sale at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920. Some restrictions apply.
What you doing, man?
I'm getting ready for this heat, boy. But you want to see what's in this box? The ghost pepper chicken sandwich, boy. Get an apple pie, fries, and ghost pepper chicken wing. You see it? You look at me? Four. Yeah, boy.
Try our new Ghost Pepper Chicken Box today. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bookie Brand at the Beauty Shop, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shop, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to go to Staniel Key in this segment, where business owners and residents are applauding the efforts and, of course, the opportunity to gain more information about the Rosewood Exuma project that is just about to begin. Yesterday, CEO of the Rosewood Exuma, Felipe McLean, met with residents in a community meeting there, and they are joining me to talk about their takeaways and also the fact that many of them, I'm told, are on board and very happy for the opportunities that this project is going to bring for Staniel Key. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Andrew. It's good to have you, Andrew Miller, who is a business owner there in Staniel Key, and also we have joining him Shantice Roll. Hello to all of you and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to see you as well, Felipe.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Let's just jump right in. I want to hear from Andrew Smith and Shantice Roll. Yesterday was a community meeting with Felipe, who is obviously spending the day with you all there again in Staniel Key. Tell me what business owners' response and reaction and takeaways were from hearing what the plans are with Rosewood and how it impacts Staniel Key.
Yeah, the meeting was pretty good. They had a lot of ins and out on it. For the most part, I think there's more people on board with the project. They already know that it's going to do good for the area and the community of both communities, Black Point, South, Bahamas, even off abroad. But you know, everybody has their opinion on stuff, and at the end of the day, it's how it takes off.
Generally speaking, though, what is the response and the feedback of residents of Staniel Key?
I think there's more people on Stanley Key want to see the project go ahead. I think they have I would say 3/4 or more of the island support.
Andrew, what kind of business do you have, and how do you see your business growing as a result of the nearby Rosewood?
Well, I currently own a laundry and a wholesale liquor store, and about to bring on LP gas plant, and I'm in talks with these guys and see how can I accommodate them with their needs for gas, for grilling, cooking, etc., and so on.
So, Felipe, let's talk about this community meeting that you had. Obviously, you're following and you're a man of your word. You said that you're going to meet with residents on the nearest keys there, which is Staniel Key, Farmers Key, and Black Point, in order to bring them along and have them be a part of what's happening at Rosewood Exuma. How do you feel about this meeting, this community meeting that happened yesterday, and what are your takeaways of what their interests are, how they are feeling about the project?
Great. Well, as you know, yesterday we were in Black Point giving a very nice donation for the kids of the school. Now every kid in Black Point has a bike, and that was a very emotional event that we had yesterday. And today we're here with the community of Staniel, also listening them out and understanding their needs. And I see a lot of excitement. Yesterday we had a meeting with the community. And I can tell you that the community of Staniel Key is on board. We had a great meeting.
Felipe, before you go to Staniel Key, you mentioned Black Point. Let's go back there because we are seeing some images of dozens of students, all with bikes. I mean, this is amazing. What was behind this thought to equip all of them with bikes?
Well, basically, while we were doing giving the kids park, we realized that a lot of the kids were walking to school. And I talked to the principal, and she explained me that the reason that they were walking to the school is that there was no bike racks, and some kids and a lot of the kids didn't have bikes. So we put a plan together, and now every single child in Black Point has a bike. The school has 5 bike racks. And I cannot tell you enough how happy they were yesterday, how excited they were on their bikes, and how something so little can make such a big impact on the community. So our project, as you know, and our vision for the Exuma Keys is long-term. We believe that everything starts with the community first. That's the reason we've been doing what we have been doing with the clinic, with the school park, and now with the bikes. Now here we are in Staniel, and of course we're starting to see the needs that they have here, and we're being very close with the community. We intend to work with them.
Yes, I'll ask you about the needs of Staniel Key in a moment, but don't jump ahead. Let the host speak, right? Let the host speak, because you mentioned the fact that you've assisted with the clinic in Black Point, you've assisted with the school park in Black Point, now you have equipped the kids with bikes. What are their parents saying? I mean, this is good for exercise and being mobile and moving, really. It's wonderful to see what's happened and what these bikes now can represent for those students. But what was the response of their parents?
No, the parents are very, very happy. First, for safety. Second, some of the parents had to take the kids to school because it's long distances. So now the parents, I think that we remove a weight from their shoulders, and the kids. I've heard that this morning everybody was early to school because they were all going on their bikes. So that makes us happy, and I think that the community is really excited with it.
Really awesome. So, of course, yesterday you had a town meeting, right? A community meeting, rather, right where you are in Staniel Key. What are some of the issues they brought to your attention that you see that you can sort of help in the short term?
Well, the people here need jobs. The people here you have a lot of businesses that are very excited with what we're doing. They see that a lot of growth is coming for their businesses, all the way from Andrew or other people here in Staniel. We have also D'Angelo here with us, and we were talking about so many different opportunities that they're going to have with us. So they're very excited with it. They know what means bringing a Rosewood brand to the Exuma and the multiple opportunities that they have for growth. And that's the reason that we want to spend a lot of time here in Stanley Key, listen them out, and also explaining them, the accurate and real information about our project, so that we can collaborate and build this together. I emphasize to them always that this project is going to be an effort that from the community and from ourselves, because we cannot do it just by ourselves. So we're working very closely with the community. We are starting to understand what they're what exactly their concerns, and we are always close to the community, and we listen first to the community, and then with that base we can always build a project like the one we're doing.
Right. If you can please just let us see D'Angelo, because then I'd love to hear from him his thoughts about the proposed development, what Rosewood represents for Staniel Key, and how excited are you, D'Angelo, and others about the potential of what will be available?
We are very excited about the project. Right now, I am currently building a bar and restaurant on my own key as well, and I'm very excited, because the more the better, Without the people have more choices, more jobs, more pleasure, the more the better. I think Rosewood is doing a good job, and we are able and excited to bring them on board.
Yes, absolutely. Felipe mentioned that jobs were really sort of the primary thing that's needed. People need options and more opportunities. What can you say about that?
Yes, we do need a lot more jobs, because currently we don't have enough jobs now on island. Everybody just focus on staying key or club, but we need more jobs, and I think they'll do a good job providing that for us.
Felipe, of course, you were here earlier this week, and you are feeling very confident, but besides meeting with residents from Farmers Key, Staniel Key, and Black Point, and assisting and making tangible just impacts and input in these communities, you're also quite excited about what they're excited about, and that is getting this resort started so that the spin-off opportunities, not just the direct employment, but also the opportunities that will be a mushroom effect, that can begin happening truly, and they can really benefit from it.
Absolutely. And as I told you on the other day, I already see how people are starting to grow their businesses. They see a bright future with us. We were talking about it with Andrew, and he's increasing the size of his laundry, his bar. Now you hear from D'Angelo about the restaurant. So they see what's coming. They're very excited with it, and this is something that is going to be a great benefit for the community. They know that the impact of our project is going to be it's going to be great, and they're looking forward for it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for speaking with me. We are looking forward to hearing much more. Perhaps when you go to Farmers Key, we can hear what the residents there have to say. But this is Felipe McLean, the CEO of Rosewood Exuma. He has been meeting, you see today and also yesterday, there was a community meeting in Staniel Key where he met with business owners, two of which are sitting next to him, and as well as residents to hear their views, to get them informed, to clarify perhaps some of the things they've been hearing, to assure them that there is no damage to the environment and the resort will be built according to the specifications of being in alignment with environmental standards and requirements, and of course how they benefit. Equally as important, how they benefit. Felipe, thank you for joining me here on Beyond the Headlines. Once again, you have any final comments?
Yes, we're going to continue coming here. As you know, I'm always